Hello, my lovelies. So it is the first day of October. It is autumn. It is Halloween season. And I love all of these things. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. Now, when I first started this channel, I always intended to put in more games than just The Sims. And the only reason it hasn't happened is because I was debating which game to play. And I decided that since it is spooky season, I would share with you one of my favorite, very slightly spooky games, and that is Wytchwood. I do want to put a little bit of a content warning. While I personally would not have any problems with playing this in front of very small children, some of the verbal descriptions are a little bit gross. And if you are deeply religious in the Christian faith, you might want to give this one a pass because there is a very blatant Satan allegory that you have made a deal with. You are collecting souls for a black goat who speaks, and it's not subtle. I found it funny and a little bit charming, but if you are a Christian of deeply held faith, this might be uncomfortable for you. Either way, let's get started with Wytchwood, and I hope you love this game as much as I do. Once upon a time, there lived an odd little witch in an odd little house. She spent most of her days tending to her odd little garden, resting in her odd little chair. On this day, however, her sleep is interrupted by an odd little noise. Bah! Who's there? Okay. Before we talk to the goat, I'm just going to show you. So here you are as your little witch with your little chicken feet. And in your witch's cottage, there are a few things that you can interact with in here, but you don't actually spend a lot of time in your cottage. Oh, I can't interact with those things until I talk to the goat. You devil! How dare you wake a young lady from her beauty sleep? Blah! Shoo! Shoo! Get out of my house, you mindless beast! You're making a mess! With a swift kick in the rump, you boot the goat through the front door. When did this place get so cluttered? I could have sworn I swept the hearth just yesterday. First things first, my old grimoire must be around here somewhere. And we start our first chapter with first things first. Okay, let's see our grimoire. Aha! Here it is. It's lighter than I recall. Your grimoire contains all of your craftable recipes. You can open it at any time by pressing X. I love how it is a quest that we have to open our grimoire. And you can see that we only have one recipe, and that is for our mending poultice. We only have one recipe. That seems odd, doesn't it? But it is for a healing potion or a mending poultice. And it requires forest herb, which you find in the forest, and hag shroom, which you find in the swamp. And I love that every ingredient, it tells you where you get it. But that's not important right now. All my recipes are missing. That damnable creature has chewed up all the pages of my book. Where's my belt? I'll need it to carry things if I'm to go confront the beast. I must have left it in that trunk over there. Love the art. Find your braided belt in the chest. Oh, we have our braided belt. We've got some other things in here. We've got 2 imp eye nuts, reedy twine, and a seeker vine. Well, let's take our stuff, because we might need it. Oof, my poor back. How long was I napping for? A good dose of medicine ought to soothe these aching bones before I head outside. At least I still have the recipe for my mending poultice. Alright. We need the ingredients. We need forest herb and hag shroom. What is this? Is this some forest herb conveniently in our house? Ditto on some hag shrooms. And we need one more forest herb, like is conveniently sitting on this table. So let's craft that mending poultice, and we're going to use that mending poultice to heal ourselves. And now I believe it is time to face the goat. You step outside into a humid marsh and immediately stub your toe on a twisted root. Ouch! Close your eyes for a wink and the next thing you know, the whole yard's gone to the weeds. Somewhere in the distance, you can hear braying through the dense bramble. Where'd that cross-eyed Billy get to? You could at least put those gnashers to good use on this lawn. Okay, it wants us to open our map and get a better look at our surroundings, which you can also get to through just opening your inventory, but we do have a map. It is a very limited map so far. I'm guessing we need to go find a billy goat. Oh, a harvestable thing, but we can't harvest that without shears. We can, however, grab ourselves some more seeker vine. Oh, it looks like we can't open that chest, or at least not yet. I do like the dancing statue. Oh, and there's some more hag shroom. Alright. Bah! Is that all you've got to say for yourself? Bah! The goat coughs up a disgusting hairball. Ah, yes, hello. Can you hear me now? Apologies. It's been so long since I've used a mortal vessel. Yuck! There's dirt in its mouth. Pah! Pah! You can talk? Of course I can talk. Has your mind become so filled with cobwebs that you've forgotten your old friend? You wound me, madam. It's good to see you up and about. I was beginning to wonder if you'd ever awaken, though I suppose time flows strangely in this place. Anyway, I've come to collect. Do you have the amount we agreed upon? Amount? Amount of what? Oh dear, if you really don't remember, we should go over the contract details again. Down there. The goat nods its head toward the ancient stone gateway looming nearby. And just how am I supposed to get through that solid rock? You're the one who sealed it last. Take a closer look, and I'm sure it will come back to you. Open your witch's eye with Y to inspect objects and creatures and discover their weaknesses. Stone pillar, it looks like I need an unveiling powder. An unusually large standing stone wrapped with enchanted engravings. So, don't underestimate your senses, my dear. You may be old, but you can see things others cannot. Hidden weaknesses lie below the surface. Ah, I can see it now. There are shallow runes etched into the surface of the stone, but they're too faint for me to read. A powder of unveiling ought to do the trick. If you hadn't made a snack of my book, I wouldn't have to retranscribe my recipes. I shall not be held liable for any losses or inconveniences incurred by the result of abyssal possession. By inspecting objects and creatures, you can learn new recipes to craft in your grimoire. So I'm willing to bet that there is an unveiling powder recipe now, and oh look! We have conveniently by the game been given all of the ingredients. I love tutorials. Alright, let's use this unveiling powder. You smear a handful of the glowing powder onto the runes of the doorway. A cool blue light emanates from the glyphs and envelops the entrance in its aura. You squint, attempting to discern the meaning of the letters. They appear to be in some obscure runic alphabet. What gibberish is this? It looks like it was carved by a frightened hen. Must be written in the umbral tongue. Allow me to translate. The goat steps up to the doorway and pauses. Well, what does it say? The goat swings its shaggy head toward you. Dark, matted wool obscures the creature's beady eyes. I cannot see. Unbelievable! What help are you, then? I didn't come here to help. I came to collect. Now do something about this mop of hair, will you? Fine, fine. I think I have some rusty old shears down in the garden. Oh, this art is so pretty. Aha! I have more reedy twine and some shears. Let's go give a goat a haircut. Oh, there he went. With much protesting and a nicked ear, you shear away clumps of dirty hair from the goat's eyes. Ah, much better. Oh my, were you always this grotesque, or is my memory failing me as well? Watch your tongue, or I'll give it a good snip too. Now, can you read the runes or not? Yes. Ahem. A space beneath she sleeps alone, tokens given up to the unknown. Fires of 4 shall uproot the stone, braziers burn and await the crone. Crone? Who is it calling a crone? And what are these tokens I'm to burn? Perhaps you ought to take a closer look at those braziers, and it is prompting us to use our witch's sight. Right, this one will need a shiny stone. This one will need frog slime. This one needs dog hair, and this one needs a blue feather. Dog hair, bird feather, frog slime, and a shiny stone? I don't suppose you swallowed up any of those things while I was asleep. I don't think so. But feel free to sift through this creature's leavings if you want to be completely sure. However, there's a whole world outside this little swamp, you know. See that gateway over there? The one with the lovely green flame? The goat motions to the far side of your yard. I guess a brisk walk in the woods would do these creaky joints some good. Too much time indoors is bad for the humors. Alright, we need to get to the forest. Over here. Thick tangled vines have overgrown the ruined entrance. Something sharper than your fingernails will be needed to get through. Fortunately, I have shears. Snipping and tearing, your shears make short work of the bramble. Let's go into the darkness. You cut your way through the remaining vines and suddenly step onto a cold stone dais. Time seems to flow backwards, or maybe it speeds forwards. An oppressive, star-filled void stretches as far as you can see. Though there is no wind or sound in this void, a warm fall breeze and the chirping of birds seizes your attention. There is a doorway. Now, there's lots of doorways, but you can't use most of them until you unlock them. And I actually think this is possibly one of the most beautiful places in this game. I love the stars. I love the constellations around you. And the wind and the motes of the flowing of time. But we have a forest to get to. We are in the forest, and we need a blue feather, a dog hair, frog slime, and a shiny stone. Now, if we use our witch's sight, we know that a squirrel is weak to a snap trap. I don't think we need anything from a squirrel. Oh, there's some forest herb. Let's see, we'll definitely need something from a bird and something from a dog. So let's... Okay. The bird watcher. It's not going to give us that bird. Oh, we need a hatchet for that piece of wood. Let's collect all the collectibles we see, though. Alright, there is a bird without a bird watcher on it, though. They're also weak to a snap trap. Let's see, what do we need to make a snap trap? We need impi nuts, which we have one. And we need wickerwork, which is a craftable item. So we can select that. And it looks like we can just make wickerwork with things we've already picked up. We can now make a snap trap. And that should catch us one of these birds. Now we wait. See what I mean? It's a little gross. It's not bad, but it's a little gross. All right, and we have our bird, our blue feather. We need a shiny stone. The woman spins around on her heels so quickly she nearly hits you with her spyglass. Oh, you startled me. Can't you see I'm busy with my scientific research? Research? What is it you're looking for with that contraption? Why, the famed indigo-tufted forest lark. They're said to be native to this forest and this forest only. Have you seen one, perchance? You glance upwards at the small blue bird perched atop the oblivious woman's hat. I haven't. Sorry. A shame. Well, it's never too late to open one's eyes to the wonders of the natural world. You'll never know what you'll discover. She points at nearby woodland critter, stuffing its cheeks with seeds. Take that squirrel, for example. Spend a few moments watching its behavior and you'll learn everything you need to know about it. Observation is the key. Now, if you don't mind, I wouldn't want to miss making an exciting new discovery. The blue bird glances vacantly at you before pooping on the brim of the woman's hat. Thank you, tutorial lady, for teaching me to use my witch sight. Now we need... Oh! Hello, sir.
Evening, ma'am. Come to check out the pottery? I'm afraid I just fired the kilns up, so they'll be a while still.
Pottery? Bah! I was just admiring that fine canine over there. You point to a scraggly-looking mutt patrolling the yard. May I give her a petting?
Oh, you can try, but I wouldn't if you value your fingers. She's a touch bitey today, and doesn't much like people going near the ovens.
I have a way with animals. Surely I can find something to calm her down. Okay, we know that the kilnman is a rugged, hardy-looking man. Yes, empty jars, and the dog has a weakness to the shears, which we already have, and a soporific morsel. Let's take a look at that recipe. It looks like we need a soporific potion, which we do not have but is a craftable, and a meaty morsel, which we already have. So let's see what it takes to make that potion. We need leaf caps, a jar of water, and we need impi nuts. Let's see how close we can get to this dog, because there's empty jars up there. We get some clay and a couple gold coins from that chest. Oh no, the pupper's near the gate. Alright, we got out without getting bitten. And we have the recipes we need to move on. More impi nuts. What is this? Is this a well?
Oh man, oh geez, I don't know about this.
You tap the man's shoulder and he nearly tumbles headfirst into the well.
What's the matter with you? I could have fallen in.
Then perhaps you shouldn't be leaning over the edge like some wobbly stork. What's so interesting down this well, anyways?
Well, my grandpappy used to tell me that people drop all sorts of treasure down there, just waiting for someone to dig it up. I got myself a trowel and thought I'd give it a go, but the rope's out and it looks awful dark and damp, and I get goosebumps just thinking about all the ghoulies that might be lurking down there in the shadows.
Ever consider that those ghoulies might get goosebumps thinking about you lurking up here in the sunlight?
No, not really. Not sure if that makes me feel any better about them, actually. Maybe the business of treasure hunting isn't for me after all. Here, why don't you take my trowel? I don't think I'll be needing it. You can go down into the well and see those ghoulies yourself.
Ooh, he offers you a small trowel. It looks like it's never been used. This old well is deep and dark. You might be able to climb down into it, but the rope is long since rotted away. Old breeze wafts up from the darkness. Let's use our reedy twine. You toss a length of strong homemade rope down into the darkness. It seems like it should support you without too much fuss. Ooh, gold coins. Oh, we need to use our trowel. Oh, there's a frog! But we need a catching net for a frog. It did not give us a recipe for a catching net. That is unfortunate. But we can get that water. Okay. We still need that other mushroom. Where did our froggy friend go? I don't like that it's not giving us the recipe for that catching net. But let's grab all the clay we can while we are down here. Ooh, and we got our shiny stone. Ooh, we get extra shiny stones. And this chest is locked. What are you, little one? A darkened nook. A cozy burrow for a creature who prefers to be left alone. Well, apparently we don't get to know much about that until later. So we're gonna need a catching net to get frog slime. And we need some more mushrooms to get dog hair. So let's hunt for those things. Oh, what is this? Too quick for hands alone. I bet they need a catching net too. But we can collect some flower petals. Even if we can't catch any fairies or fireflies yet. More imbi nuts. And we need a hatchet for that. But, oh look! There's a human. Woodsman. Ah! You there! Give me a hand, would you? With what? You seem to have everything under control. These stumps aren't going anywhere. My darn useless son was supposed to help me, but he's wandered off again. Probably to go bother frogs and eat bugs or some such nonsense. Anyway, I need help clearing away some of these dead logs. It's late in the season and the wood has started to rot. Just be careful of the purple mushrooms that sometimes grow inside. They'll make you powerful sleepy if you breathe in the spores. I think we found out how to get those other mushrooms we need. As much as I do love poisonous fungi,
I'm not much of a lumberjack. Nonsense. Anyone can experience the joys of splitting a fine stump. Here, my boy won't be missing his hatchet. Oh, look! The woodsman spins a sharp-looking hatchet in his hands and thrusts the handle at you. Why, how very handy. We've been needing just such a hatchet. There's another log down here. Let's take a look at that recipe. Yep, we can craft that now, which means that we can make a soporific morsel for that doggo. But we still need frog slime. I bet, given that this child apparently is hanging out with frogs and bugs, that when we find this child, he will teach us how to make a net. And that is why it didn't pop up in our inventory like the rest of the recipes. I love how everything useful sparkles. Oh, look! I wonder if this could be a woodsman's useless son. Ragamuffin. Oi, lady, what's with that green stinking pot in your head? I could ask the same about those stinking frogs in your trousers. You're just jealous. The boy fumbles between trying to wrangle all his frogs and swiping ineffectually at wayward fireflies with a shoddy-looking bug net. Juggling a bit more than you can handle, eh? What exactly are you hoping to accomplish, flailing about like that? Are you daft? My frogs are hungry, and I gotta catch some fireflies to feed 'em. He takes another wild swing, missing his target entirely. Why don't you let me take a few of those frogs off your hands for a moment? That would let you swing that net properly. Oh, I see how it is. You're after me precious prizes. Well, how about I give you the net and you catch me some fireflies? Then maybe I'll think about trading you one of my froggies. Oh, right. You can't make a net. You have to acquire the net. Catching fireflies and collecting hag shrooms. All right. Well, these hoppers aren't going to stick around with empty bellies. The faster you catch those fireflies, the faster we can eat. Oh, I mean the frogs can eat. Well, look, we have exactly 5 fireflies. The boy holds out an empty jar with holes poked in the lid. We give him the fireflies. The boy shakes the jar, rattling the captured insects like pennies in a piggy bank. Oh, these are nice and juicy. The lads are going to feast tonight. Now, about our deal? You agree to trade me one of your pets there. What deal? I don't remember making no deal. A frog squirms out of the boy's overalls and plops down by his feet with a wet slap. Dang it, there goes Slippery Pete. He takes a clumsy swipe at the amphibian, but the creature squeezes out of his grasp and bounces into the underbrush. Aw, shucks, I never liked him anyways. If you can catch him, he's all yours. Okay, we have the frog slime, we have the shiny stone, we just need that dog hair. Which I believe was down this way. One of the things I really love about this game is this is clearly an inventory management game, and very frequently they just don't give you enough stuff, but everything reloads so fast here. Oh. Frog slime, blue feather, shiny stone, and dog hair. That's all I need for those braziers. I should head back home now.
while the doggy is out, let's see what... I could dig out some coals with the right tool. Let's trowel some things. Just while we're here. Because there is a dog that will bite you here. So let's collect these things while they're handy. And the doggo is already asleep. I think that is all there is right now. Like, that impi nut was not there last time. It's already back for us. It is just so nice of the game to have things so readily accessible. Ooh, there's already more vines. Alright, the brazier awaits an offering. Have you something to burn? Let's give it the blue feather. A strong force pulls the feather down into the large basin like a magnet. It bursts into a bright flash of light as the cold flames engulf its essence. The dog hair takes a moment to fall from your fingers, fluttering down into the basin one by one. The fur bristles into foul-smelling coils before erupting into cold green flame. You gently squeeze the gobs of wet slime from your satchel into the basin. The mucus bubbles and pops before cold flames reduce it to a fine, odorless ash. You drop the stone into the basin with a resounding chiming sound. Fractures trace across the pebble before it cracks open, and a cold green light swallows it within its flames. The emerald flames of the braziers place strange shadows across the stone doorway. You watch as feathers of shadow crawl up the rock face and crack open the solid granite like stale bread. The stone crumbles away into darkness, revealing a yawning stairway descending down into the cold earth. After you, madam. Let's see what's down here, shall we? Encased inside a gilded crystal coffin lies the body of a young woman. Though she sleeps in an enchanted slumber, her ageless features express a deep sadness. And the sound of cloven hooves echo against the marble floor as the goat comes to your side. Quite something, isn't she? Do you remember bringing her to me? I brought her to you? Why? Who is she? I haven't the faintest idea. All I know is you brought her lifeless form to my doorstep and begged me to save her soul. Save her from what? And why is she asleep? Why, from the 12 wicked souls you said wronged her in her life. Villains who deceived her and cheated her and broke her spirit. And as we agreed, here she will sleep until our contract is fulfilled. Until you bring me those 12 wicked souls. What? I remember no such contract. Our pact is binding, regardless of what you do or do not remember. At the goat's words, you feel something hard and dark locked away in the depths of your heart. It speaks the truth. And just why should I do your bidding? Seems like a lot of bothersome trouble to me.
Why should I care about some sleeping beauty?
Bring me the 12 souls, and I will release the sleeping maiden from her slumber, and our agreement will be fulfilled. Who knows? In time, you may even remember why you brought her to me in the first place. Or you can simply return to the comfort of your little hovel, where you will waste away until the weeds grow so thick that not even your shears will be able to cut you free. And your mind will stay as empty as that grimoire of yours. But it is a big decision to make so hastily. Why don't you sleep on it? A heavy weight fills your marrow. Your eyes flutter, barely able to stay open. What have you done to me? I can't stay awake. Wake back up in our chair, just like before.
Good morning. I trust you've made up your mind. Will you collect the souls I've asked for, or would you prefer to stay stuck in this festering swamp? All right. No need to get your horns in a twist. I'll do as you ask. You haven't given me much choice. Splendid. As it happens, I can already sense the first 4 souls we seek. 2 are in the forest, another in the swamp to the north, and the last in the fields to the south. Could you be more specific? Near a shapely stump, perhaps inside a tree with a face? By an overgrown mushroom grove? What do I look like, a compass? Go out there and look for yourself.
And we now have the new chapter of the Sleeping Maiden. And we have to collect 4 souls for the goat. And they are the bear in the forest, the ox in the fields, the leech in the swamp, and the snake in the forest. And we're going to leave this here. Just a nice little quick intro to get the idea of this game and whether you want to watch the rest of this playthrough. It's going to be every other week. I'm going to alternate it with my Horse Ranch series. And we are going to do an episode for each soul we have to collect, and then an episode for the ending. So this will total out with 14 episodes, counting this one. And then we'll play another game on that week. But in the meantime, please in the comments, leave who you think we should seek out first. The bear, the ox, the leech, or the snake. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you so very, very much. If you feel so inclined and you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, a comment, or even subscribe and ring that notification bell to let you know when more is coming. I've been Edith Ivy, and thank you so much for playing with me. Have a lovely time zone wherever you are in the world.